Hey, what's up, Sports Nation? Hey, what's up, Eagles Nation? It's your boy, Cool Eagle, back here with another video. Just want to come talk to you guys because, well, do we have a lot to talk about today in the world of NFL football? But before I begin and go into my content, I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Again, like, subscribe on the way in and out. Tell me what you think, man. We're on the road to 300. We can't do this without your support. Thank you so much. But on to the topic today, man, because we know the Super Bowl is next Sunday. There's always that week gap that a lot of people probably aren't used to yet, even though this has been going on for years. But there's still a lot to talk about going into the Super Bowl because obviously teams are taking a lot more preparation than they usually would for a regular season game. If you don't have the number one playoff seed, and then of course media companies and corporations want to get their ad slot times in. As we know, the Super Bowl is half commercials, then a quarter is the halftime show, and then the actual game, right? So getting all that culminating together to make Super Bowl right now, we have to think about what the Super Bowl is. Like in the Super Bowl for years has just defined what a quarterback is and what they won't be, right? So going back to 2020, right, you had Tampa Bay and the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And going into that, we knew what Tom Brady was as far as his career, the GOAT QB of all time, ruiner of other dynasties outside of New England just because of his success. And then Patrick Mahomes, the new Tom Brady, as they're calling him in the media. And then the fact that he's getting that treatment that a lot of people get when they were seeing Tom Brady in multiple AFC championships and Super Bowls. Like, they're just getting tired of him. And now you got people talking about that now they're not going to watch the Super Bowl just because they're tired of Patrick Mahomes. And obviously people are just blowing smoke right now. A lot of people are going to watch the Super Bowl. Last year's Super Bowl and the year before that broke record numbers. I don't think that this will change. And the Chiefs have been in the past few Super Bowls, and they've all been, pretty well viewed. So we can go ahead and disregard that. But as far as what the Super Bowl means and just defining legacies in itself, we know what that 2020 Super Bowl represented between the GOAT and the new GOAT coming in next year. Joe Burrow coming off a horrific injury in his rookie season, then coming back and proving that he's going to be a real threat to Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, we know that one of the two of Patrick Mahomes' losses are to Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. So that actual Peyton Manning and Tom Brady rivalry compared to what people were saying about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, like this may be the real Peyton Manning and Tom Brady rivalry. But again, going back to the legacies of Super Bowls, like we know what that Super Bowl meant. And in 2021, of course, as I said, Joe Burrow coming off an injury, Matthew Stafford fresh off a trade from the Detroit Lions where he was known to be a gunslinger there, and bringing that same talent to LA, and then grouping him with Odell and Cooper Kupp, who was a top 10 receiver at that time, Aaron Donald, a future Hall of Famer. So legacies were defined there for sure. And the next year after that, you get the Eagles and the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, Patrick Mahomes going to back-to-back Super Bowls, AFC Championship games, Jalen Hurts coming to the league. People had questions about him. Can he play in this league with his style of football? And we saw what he did in that regular season leading up to that Super Bowl, shaping that he's going to be a real threat in the NFC for the future, going to the playoffs for 3 consecutive seasons, and then actually saying something you did out of those 3 consecutive opportunities in the playoffs. Like you've been to a Super Bowl, something that a lot of other teams just haven't done, like the Dallas Cowboys, but that's a whole other discussion. And then Patrick Mahomes doing what he did in that Super Bowl in the second half, going on 6 consecutive drives, whether that's an indictment on the Eagles defense or not, that really showed the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. And then Jalen Hurts doing what he did, having one of the best performances in a Super Bowl, despite losing that Super Bowl. So I don't think you could have taken anything away from either of those guys. really shape who they're going to be in the future. And then this year now, we got Patrick Mahomes again in back-to-back Super Bowls, but potentially going to win, because I think the Chiefs are going to win. But then you got Brock Purdy, who can do what Jimmy G didn't do for the 49ers. A way for Brock Purdy to put himself in the San Francisco Hall of Fame. You know, the guy has 2 consecutive NFC Championship appearances, and now he has a Super Bowl appearance. So, you know, he has a chance to make a legacy that Colin Kaepernick and Jimmy Garoppolo just couldn't do. You know, and actually go to the championship and win it. Possibly getting the MVP after being called a game manager, which I still think in a sense he is. But, you know, when you win a Super Bowl, like, it's kind of hard to give someone that game manager level, especially if they manage to throw for a good amount of yards, good amount of touchdown passes, and the QBR and all those analyticals are good. So, and then you're going up against the GOAT of this generation, Patrick Mahomes. You know, so I want all of us to take into consideration about what the Super Bowl really means. You know, like, we're talking about the future talent in the league that's going to keep drawing dollars and bucks and new audiences. You know, Taylor Swift and that Travis Kelce thing, you know, that's brought like $350 million. And now you're going to the Super Bowl where prices are through the roof, where CMC's mom can't even afford a Super Bowl suite. That's like $2.1 million. So think about the legacies and the impact of the Super Bowl, like what it really means, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, what legacies can be impacted, what legacies can be made in the Super Bowl, because I think there are quite a couple. You know, Patrick Mahomes just solidifying his GOAT status of this generation, and then inching closer to that GOAT discussion versus Tom Brady, because obviously he still has to win a couple more, but the closer he gets, it's just the better that conversation gets. Then, of course, Brock Purdy making his name in the San Francisco Hall of Fame for actually doing something that Colin Kaepernick and Jimmy Garoppolo just couldn't do, and win a Super Bowl. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, love doing this with you guys. We got more content on the way. Like, subscribe, and we're out here.